Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranams Prabhuji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. Would you like to chant Mangalacharanam prayers?
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Anvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa-swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakim Namami Bhakta-shaktikam Hare Krishna Nitai Goswami Manani Hari Devi Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranams. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, Dandat Pranam. So, we are looking at the third shower of nectar in Madurya Kadambini, which is about Anartha Nivritti. So, let us all pray to our Srila Prabhupada and to the entire Parampara that they should help us to properly understand this very important chapter and help us to overcome the various obstacles that arise in our path in the forms of 4 types of anarthas, and we should be able to overcome these disturbances and make progress in bhakti. Actually, this Madhurya Kadambini book, if you see, very interestingly, it has got 8 chapters, right? 8 chapters, and it's about 67 pages. And 2 chapters cover half the book. The one we are doing right now is 1/4. This is Anartha Nivritti, 1/4 of the book. And another 1 chapter, which is Prema, the Prayojana of the process of bhakti, that occupies another 1/4 of the book. The remaining 6 chapters is half the book. 6 chapters take half the book, and 2 chapters only take the other half of the book. And Anartha Nivritti and Prem and the Prema chapter, these are the 2 longest chapters. So we can understand why. Because Shraddha starts, from that Bhajana Kriya we come, and we proceed gradually to Prema. And the anarthas will start chasing us from the beginning. From the time you come from Shraddha to Bhajana Kriya, the anarthas will continue to haunt us to perform pure, focused bhakti. The business of anarthas is to disturb our bhakti. Anartha means that which is insubstantial, temporary. So it will continue to trouble bhakti, which is an eternal process. It's a pure process. And bhakti is completely transcendental. It is the energy of Krishna. We know energy of Krishna is not different from Krishna. So bhakti is Krishna himself. So we saw in the first chapter, bhakti is independent, just as Krishna is independent. So bhakti appears independently. The devotee carries bhakti in his heart. So Bhakti Devi does not travel by herself. Bhakti Devi travels in the heart of devotees. So only way you can get bhakti is by contacting those bhaktas who have bhakti in their heart. And how does bhakti manifest externally? It manifests in the form of compassion, kindness, mercy. So when we come in contact with those devotees, we are able to access that mercy from them. If we put ourselves in the right frame of mind, the mercy flows very freely. So the only way is from Vaishnava Thakur. Right? Only from them we are able to access this bhakti, and that is how Bhakti Devi travels in this world. The Lord is independent, But if the Lord gives bhakti to someone, doesn't give to others, then he will be blamed of being partial. That the Lord is partial to devotees is not a flaw. But if the Lord is partial to some people, non-devotees, other non-devotees, he deals with them differently, then the Lord will be blamed. So the Lord has given this entire responsibility to his devotees who carry his energy, which is bhakti. The Lord's energy, which is bhakti, it is carried in the hearts of his devotees. So wherever the devotees are placed, they can give their mercy to anyone they want. The bhakta cannot be blamed. Bhakta's heart is overflowing with mercy. So whoever accesses that, he gets it. That is not a flaw. So this is how the whole arrangement is like that. The Lord is the ocean of mercy, of bhakti. From that ocean, these clouds come out. And the clouds, rain-bearing clouds, these are the pure devotees of the Lord, the devotees of the Lord who carry bhakti in their heart. And they travel all over the world and they rain their showers on the fortunate people. And that is the way they get bhakti. So that way, as we were saying, Anartha Nivritti chapter is the longest chapter in the book for valid reasons, for us to understand. Because a sadhana bhakta, he is definitely going to experience that. On the one side, we saw in the previous chapter how in the Anishtita Bhajana stage, so many obstacles come. So the devotee is going to experience all these anarthas and feel that, oh my God, I really want to advance to prema very quickly. But these anarthas are troubling me, right? But the very next stage, which is Nishta, once you reach Nishta stage, substantially the anarthas will not trouble you, even though the anarthas will still remain. And one has to be very careful until you reach the lotus feet of the Lord against anarthas. Anarthas can pull your leg at any time. So this whole chapter is to alert the devotees, sadhana bhaktas, to be very careful about anarthas. And what solution does it give? Solution is to rush into the association of devotees, stay away from the wrong kind of association of people who are attached to material sense enjoyment, and chant the name incessantly. Just chant the name as attentively as you can. These are primarily the solutions that you have, and you should never lose your heart. So when it looks like you will be losing your heart, then that is the time again to run into the association of devotees by hearing, by reading, by discussing, and by engaging the various processes of bhakti, the 9 processes, and then praying to the Lord, just crying out. So in fact, the more we become aware of the existence of anarthas in our life and our inability to deal with that much our heart begins to tremble, and we start begging the Vaishnavas unto the Lord, please save me, please save me. And that is so we should be able to chant in the mood of a crying baby, because you feel helpless. When you are really helpless, you actually become a baby, right? The baby is the perfect representation of a helpless situation. Totally depends on others. A little baby, what it can do, whether it is hungry or whether its body is itching or it has any other difficulty, the child cannot express. It's totally dependent. So in that mode, so anarthas, the power of anarthas in our life can in one sense help us to take shelter in a more complete manner, that I am totally dependent. So you see, in that mode, if you read the bhajans of Vaishnava Acharyas, especially Bhakti Vinod Thakur's or Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans, you will be able to see the mood of complete shelter taking. They take the shelter of Vaishnavas, that you alone can save me. I am, by my own efforts, incompetent to achieve this. So this is what you should carry in your mind as we read this chapter. Okay, this is the 3rd shower of nectar, which is about anartha nivritti. So we have been seeing 4 types of anarthas. I have just forwarded to you one photograph of the temple wall. You would have got it in the group. You can see it later on. about how Maharaj in his presentations shows these 4 types of anarthas and what the anarthas do. You can go through them, and if you want to discuss them, we can discuss that in the next class. Okay, now we shall proceed from this book. Um, so we have seen what these Dushkrutota and Sukrutota anarthas are, and we can classify them both together. Then the next one is Apradota. So that we will discuss, and Bhaktiota. That we will discuss afterwards. Now we shall focus on the Apradota. And there is this discussion which is coming in this book where it says that it makes a distinction between other processes of spiritual evolution with bhakti. In what way bhakti differs from them? So there one shloka is quoted, and the shloka says, this is from Bhagavata Dharma. That shloka says, one who accepts this process of devotional service will never be affected by pride. Even while running with eyes closed, he will never trip or fall. So our understanding is that because in bhakti we accept the superiority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our inferior position as his servant. We accept that he is the proprietor, enjoyer, and supreme controller of everything. And that position is taken, it is his eternally. And all of us, Jiva souls, are his part and parcels, and we are eternally his servants. So, by keeping this consciousness always, that he is the proprietor, he is the director, he directs the activity. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharachar. So, he is the overseer, he is the director of everything that happens. And we are yantra rudhena maya. We are as if sitting on a machine. The machine is operating and we are sitting on the machine. That is our condition. So in illusion, we think I am the doer. And the moment I think I am the doer of something, then the enjoyer mood automatically comes. The results of my actions, I enjoy. I did this action, I am enjoying the results of this action. So that will go away for a bhakta. For a jnani, karmi, and a yogi, this problem will be always with them because they are looking at the impersonal destination. They believe in a all pervasive presence of God. God not as a person, not as a person with qualities. They see the whole thing as a impersonal, where they have to merge. They talk about Kaivalya or Sayujya, where the goal is to simply merge in that undifferentiated one energy field, whatever you call, you can say it is Shakti. They don't acknowledge Shaktiman. They accept Shakti. So they believe they are just part of the Shakti. So for those people, their meditation is more like Ahangrahopasana. Srila Prabhupada talks about it. Many of these impersonalists, they do follow this Ahangrahopasana, which means I am God, and they worship themselves. Sometimes actually they take flowers and drop it on their own head. Or they may worship another person. They may just put that position in a nice asana and all that, and they will worship that person. Effectively, what they are worshipping is Brahman, which is present in everything. So they may worship another person in that mood, that the same Brahman within me is there in that person also. I am worshipping that Brahman. I am also that Brahman. So either they will worship themselves, it's called Ahangrahopasana. They worship themselves because it's a formless thing. No, how do you worship? So you worship yourself. So they get trapped in those moods. So pride affects them. Pride affects them because they have the mood of doership and enjoyership. And they think by they are Brahman, there is one Brahman, and they are that Brahman. But because of some kind of a negligence or lack of focus on the self, they have fallen into Maya just by not focusing on themselves. If they are always focused on themselves, they will be in joy. They don't talk about prema. Prema means two people, Prema means minimum 2 people are required. Otherwise, how do you prema? You don't do prema to yourself. Prema means minimum 2 people. The lover and the beloved. Then prema flows there. That is the process of bhakti with Krishna, what we have. But these people don't have that. So they just enjoy themselves. It's called Atmaram. They just enjoy themselves. So what do? They meditate that I am that Brahman, which is without qualities, without form, without name, nothing. I am that one thing which is all pervasive, and they try to meditate on that. And because I have fallen down, I should once again refocus on myself. I should give up all distractions. Nay, I am not this body, I am not my eyes, I am not my ears, I am not my nose, I am not my house, my family, my possessions. They do like that. And by rejecting, ultimately they will be left with nothing. And by focusing on that nothing, they will become one. Right? Even if they accept a Vigraha Aradhana process, Archa Vigraha, their mood is not the same as our mood. Correct? Our mood in doing deity worship is the Lord is present in the deity. The Lord is present everywhere. And for our benefit, the Lord has incarnated in the form of this Vigraha. The Vigraha is the Lord. The Vigraha is not a representation of the Lord. The Vigraha is the Lord. In that mood, we surrender to the Vigraha. So, pride never rears its head in the case of a devotee, if he is very alert. Devotee doesn't look down on others also, because devotee sees the deity not only in the temple, the Vigraha, right? He sees the Lord in everyone. That's why Pandita Samadarshana. He is the Lord present in everyone. He sees the various forms of people, but he doesn't see them. He sees all those forms as the forms of the Supreme Lord, his worshipable deity. Right? In that way, he is protected from becoming victim of pride. Right? This shloka saying that a devotee in any stage will not be affected by pride. Then it proceeds further. Even while running with his eyes closed, he will never trip or fall. Okay. For this point, that he will never trip or fall, even running with eyes closed, some explanation is given by Chakravarti Pal. What he is saying is that, see here in this shloka, it talks about a person, he has the vision, he can see, he has got eyes, but he closes them. And then he doesn't even walk with eyes closed, he runs. But despite doing this, he has eyes, but his eyes he deliberately closes, and then he doesn't just move, he runs. Still, he does not fall down. This is what Bhagavata Dharma says in glorification of the process of bhakti. So, Chakravarti Pad takes a little time to explain this. So, this means that taking shelter of bhakti and knowing all the angas of bhakti, right? 64 angas, and especially the 5 angas, we know all those things from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, right? So by knowing, taking shelter of the process of bhakti, bhakti means all the processes, all the angas of bhakti. So he knows his angas, but he omits to perform some of the angas as if ignorant of them. That is called closing the eyes, right? He knows all the angas of bhakti, but purposely he doesn't perform some of the angas. So this means even though bhakti has got many angas, one doesn't have to perform all the angas. That is called closing your eyes to the other angas. And you just pick up what you are performing and you focus on that. So this shloka says that by not performing some of the angas, even though knowing, but acting as though ignorant, such a devotee does not incur sin or any reversal for this omission, nor he is deprived of the results of bhakti. Oh, you have done one anga, but other angas you have not done. See, in the case of Ambarish Maharaj, he performed every anga of bhakti, so he got the perfect reciprocation from the Lord, but you are not doing. So that is not correct to say like that. Even if you do one anga of bhakti and you do it perfectly, and because of that you are not able to uh, give time for all the other angas completely, it is not a fault. You will still get the result. This is the meaning of this shloka. Anyone has any doubts on this point? Want to elaborate a little more?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Can you tell me what do you want to explain more about?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What I understood is that, Prabhuji, like the if one will be only attracted to Shravanam. Is it like that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, for us, the Yuga Dharma, we have our own Gaudiya Vaishnava process. It is chanting of the holy name. So even though we have deity worship and all the associated angas of bhakti connected with deity worship, like making nice flower garlands, making nice ornaments, bathing the Lord, and offering nice prayers, offering obeisances to the Lord, like that, cleaning the temple. So many processes of angas of bhakti are there. But our main anga is chanting of the holy names. And other processes of deity worship is introduced to us for bringing us to Sattva more quickly. You know, the by when you chant, for example, you are not able to chant 24 hours. So what do you do with the rest of your time? Then you should not get distracted towards material activities. To protect you from that, other activities are added. Because for a beginner devotee to be constantly chanting attentively, not possible. So deity worship is added as one of the limbs of our bhakti package. But if you see in the other yuga, Dwapar Yuga, that is the main process. Yuga Dharma was deity worship, Paricharyaya, serving the deities. But for Kali Yuga, for us, Nama Sankirtan is given. So for us, this is an adjunct. The deity worship, what we have, is to help us to focus our mind on the deity, serve them nicely, and then focus on our chanting. When you are not chanting, you'll be able to engage in the other activity. But you won't be able to do other processes as deeply as you are doing your Nama Sankirtan. That is your main process. So by focusing on the main process, you won't be able to do all the various angas of bhakti. Different devotees may be doing some additional angas of bhakti, but all of them will not be doing all the angas of bhakti. That is okay. We should be very clear. We should not think that, okay, I am more attracted to Shravanam, so maybe I will reduce my chanting. No. Chanting will remain your priority. So, not only the 16 rounds that we are chanting, we should always look for the opportunities to improve the quality of the 16 rounds, but also increase the number of rounds. Because one of the methods by which you can improve the quality of chanting is to increase the quantity of chanting. Increase the quantity, but always try to focus in a focused way you want to chant. So that is the primary process. But practical reasons we cannot do. Prabhupada discouraged some of his disciples who wanted permission from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I'm getting very much distracted by engaging in other services. Please give me permission. I want to sit on the banks of Radhakund and I want to just chant from morning to night. Prabhupada never gave permission because he said, if you do that, you will fall away. You have to do service now. And samadhi later. Prabhupada would always say like that. Your nirjana bhajana, your exclusive worship of chanting of the holy name in a solitary place, that will come in due course when you attain maturity of your devotion. But still, for us, the primary process is bhakti. So whatever prescription Prabhupada has given, 16 rounds of attentive chanting, that we must do. For the remaining time, you can share your time between Shravanam, book reading, listening to classes, then deity worship, visiting temple. These things you can do. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Shravanam is what we chant that Hare Krishna Maha Mantra only. No? Is it,
Uh,
and one more thing is that, Prabhuji, is it okay to feel that when we are not having so much of attachment to do the deity worships also, but instead, as you said, Prabhuji, we can sit and chant for a long time. So is that okay, Prabhuji? That kind of.
yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question. Actually, chanting of the holy name is our primary process. And 16 rounds, in fact, Prabhupada, I heard in some class, Prabhupada said 16 rounds for the Western devotees because they are not able to sit in a focused way and chant. So that's a concession. And he said somewhere 25 rounds. I have not heard this in any other place. But when I was listening to some Prabhupada's class in recording, I found Prabhupada saying 25 rounds. So those of us who can do that, we can take up 25 also, and then more if we want. The Shravanam, what does it do? This Shravanam is different from the chanting. In chanting, we do Kirtan and Shravanam. We chant and we hear, right? That is one Shravanam. But the real other Shravanam process is hearing the name, form, qualities, pastimes, and the stories of his devotees, hearing from other devotees, right? Or even reading Srila Prabhupada's books. That is also counted as Shravanam. Even though it is reading, it is counted as Shravanam. When you read the books, Prabhupada is speaking to you. So that is Shravanam. So apart from chanting, you can take up listening or reading to such exalted bhakti literature. That will support your chanting because it is warned, sometimes if somebody is reading only the 10th canto, for example, about Krishna, without reading the first 9 cantos or without understanding Bhagavad Gita, they may think unconsciously or unavoidably Krishna is an ordinary human being. They will start thinking and they will start evaluating Krishna's actions and they will make Krishna cheap. They will start thinking him as a human being, even though Krishna is the father of the 84 lakh species of existence. He's not only a human being, he's practically everything. He's an elephant, he's an ant, he's a deer, he's a cat and a dog, everything. And he's also the creator of the entire spiritual world. So that people will forget, they jump straight away into 10th chapter, and especially they start reading the chapters on Raslila, etc. They will start thinking, evaluating, and even criticizing Krishna. So that way, the process of Shravanam is basically meant to strengthen our philosophy. Even Prabhupada says, some people only want pictures of Krishna where he's dancing with gopis. Prabhupada said, why? Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield is as important as Krishna's Raslila. But why some people are only doing that? So he says there's a contamination. It's a material contamination, and they want to only increase that. So we have to be very alert to appreciate not only the Madhurya aspect of Krishna, but we should appreciate the greatness of Krishna first. So that way, your Shravanam should enrich your understanding of the philosophy. So for that reason, you should select and hear those things that will put you in touch with the greatness of Krishna. You will understand how Krishna is giving you an opportunity to connect with him. Not that Krishna is an ordinary human being and he is in want of anything. He is the supreme Lord and the creator of everything, and his only purpose is to save us, salvage the bound souls and take them back to the spiritual world and put them in a position of eternal enjoyment in connection with him. Correct? So that is the purpose that Shravanam is mentioned. That you can't do 24 hours of chanting, so you also do other processes of bhakti. But at the same time, you should not be, become morose, but I'm not able to do all the angas completely. For that, this explanation is given. That is not a fault. Whereas he is comparing, Saraswati Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is comparing, but in the case of Karma Yoga, for example, right, in a Karma Yoga, there will be criticism if some part of the action is omitted or irregularly done. Somebody is doing a yagya, for example, either the ingredients are faulty, mantra chanting is faulty, or the place is not properly purified, or proper dakshina is not given to performers. Any of these faults will become a criticism and you will get negative results. The expected results may not come. So in the case of karma, jnana and yoga also, if it is not properly done, you may not get the results or you may get adverse results. But in bhakti, it is not that. That is what this Bhagavata Dharma explains, that even with running with your eyes closed, you cannot get a negative result. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Huh?
So many doubts I had, Prabhuji, like it is clear, Prabhuji, like,
Yeah.
about this, Prabhuji, because some challenge when it becomes very challenging, Prabhuji, like we are traveling. In such situations, it becomes very difficult to do the deity worships. I mean, yeah, it is challenge for me, Prabhuji. So that time I have thought, Prabhuji, what should I do? Should I do the deity worship first and then make time for chanting? So in that cases, I skip chant deity worship and then I go for chanting, Prabhuji. So I used to think, is that okay? What I'm doing is right or no? Not what I should be doing. So both I cannot do, Prabhuji, to be in that situation. Sometimes it becomes very difficult. So these
So you should.
thoughts have come.
You have any deity? Only pictures you have, no?
Yes, Prabhuji, pictures, not deities, Prabhuji.
You have not taken any vigraha as such, no?
No,
Either
Prabhuji.
metal or, yeah. Please be
No.
careful. Don't take them in a hurry.
I
Don't.
was thinking,
Somebody
Prabhuji,
is
but
having a Laddu Gopal or something. Somebody having Gaurnita. Don't be in a hurry. Or Radha Krishna. Especially avoid taking Radha Krishna or Laddu Gopal from anywhere. If at all deity has to come, that should be only Gaurnita, not even Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Gauranga is supposed to be the most merciful deities. But even to bring them home, give sufficient thought before you do that. If you're only having pictures, you can have a simple process. One thing you don't want to eat without offering, correct? You don't want to
yes,
eat
Prabhuji.
it. So that you will definitely offer to the Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji, but the detailed way of doing, Prabhuji, that
What are the
aarti and all
details
that.
you are doing?
No, Prabhuji, like for the aarti with the plate, flowers, we take so much of time and then do. So
Hmm.
that won't be able to do, Prabhuji, like in detail. Just we will keep and we will just recite the prayers with offer obeisance, dandavat, and will not even keep it for sometimes in a hurry. Sometimes it happens, Prabhuji. So we will take it fast. So like that, I'm telling you.
Yeah, in those aspects, one thing or two, three things that we have to definitely focus is our own cleanliness as much as possible. We should be aware of these things. Mentally, we should cleanse ourselves. There is a nice shlokas. Many shlokas are there. Apavitra pavitrova sarva avastam kadobiva yes mared pundarikakshan sabhagya abhyantara suchihi. That means you don't have to recite the shloka also, but just in your mind, you meditate on the beautiful form of the Lord. And the shloka says, anyone who remembers the Lord, right? Anyone who remembers the Lord, he becomes immediately purified, both inside and outside. Just be aware. We are very unclean, by our mind especially. Mind is very unclean. And the body is also a bag of flesh and bones and blood and so many things. It is full of impurities. So in and out, we are very dirty actually. And the Lord is completely pure. So how can we even go near him? So in that mode, before approaching the altar, we can pray that Lord, please I remember your names, Kesava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda. I can recite the 12 names and pray. Just by remembering the Lord, I get purified and get the qualification to approach the altar. This is enough as a purification. Of course, taking bath and other things, the external purifications are there. One should have bath before approaching the altar, etc. Correct. But apart from this, mental purification. So one is cleanliness. Second thing is punctuality in whatever you do. You may not do a elaborate arti every time, but at least you can fix a time for your Mangala arti. It could be 5 o'clock, it could be 4:30, it could be 6 a.m., it could be 7 a.m., some reasonable time. And you be consistent with that. That this time I will try to do my Mangalarti. And your Mangalarti may consist of nothing more than agarbattis, waving agarbattis in front of the deities. Right? You may not even offer a ghee lamp, but try to be fixed in your timing. So morning and evening, twice if you do, that's good enough. That is the advantage of having pictures. If you have deities, then you have to do certain things compulsorily. So better stay like this. And our process is to chant the holy names. So the having deities at home in the form of pictures helps you to go to them, to worship them, to pray to them. That is always a shelter for you. You can go sit in front of them and do your japa like that. So try to have a discipline with regard. Let us not become completely indisciplined when it comes to our deity worship. That means you will lose the mood of proper respect to the deities, right? I think this much is okay for now. For all of you, there is no need for deities. Vigraha, you don't, but have an altar, have pictures, and put a photos on Gaurnita. Have nice Gaurnita pictures, right? And the Guru Parampara pictures. That is good enough. That is good enough. Anyone wants to say? Yes, Mataji.
Sorry to interrupt. Prabhuji, I didn't get this thing idol as such, but somebody gave me ISKCON devotee. She gave me. So now I keep on traveling. So what I do is whenever I leave home, I offer prayer obeisance and then keep a glass full of water and some prasadam covered and then come. Because in north and all they carry the laddu gopal and go. But I feel that is I mean not pure this thing of, because we travel so many places and we don't know what type of persons we meet or what type of person we are. We do not know about purification and all that. So I don't carry that, Prabhuji. So I leave it. Is it an offense, Prabhuji?
No. When you are away, you will remember, oh, I have left my deity there. That's good. You remember, oh, I have not served him nicely. I have not offered him for so many days. I did not feed him. So that is a good consciousness to have. Then wherever you are sitting, you can think of him and worship. Wherever you go, there is going to be an altar with you. So while sitting in that altar, you remember your home deities and you offer them also.
So it is not an offense as such, no, Prabhuji?
It is not unless we do these things deliberately. We are helplessly doing. So we can always pray. Actually, in our present state of existence, we are doing a lot of aparats. We help. So let us feel that mood of remorse, contrition, feel guilty. Oh, I am not able to take care of my Lord. So though I have come to the process of bhakti, I am not able to discharge it properly because of my so many attachments in the material world. I am not able to do that properly. Oh Lord, please forgive me for that. Let me compensate by chanting extra rounds and let me try to chant with as much attention as possible. So that way you can pray to the Lord. He is a person, fortunately, So as a person to person, you can always talk to him.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, keeping because Ramani Tungavidya Mataji, she told that as you're traveling so much, you keep one glass of water or whatever it is, cover it, and this thing prasad, and you keep it. I keep just like dry fruits or something which do not get. I keep it and close and go. That is not wrong, na Prabhuji?
No, that's not wrong. There is a right way. There is a right way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
Prabhuji, we also have Prabhuji. I think all Keralites, most of them, when they go to Guruvayur, they go.
Family. Okay.
They have Krishna.
What do you have? Krishna?
Krishna deity only, Prabhuji.
Made of?
Made of clay and painted.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you cannot do Abhishekam and all that.
No, Prabhuji. And Laddu Gopal also, when somebody went to Vrindavan, they brought one small Laddu Gopal. We have at home, Prabhuji. We are worshipping. And when nowadays, after knowing this, I started carrying wherever I go and offering Bhoga.
That is also okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Prabhuji, doubt Prabhuji, that is on Ekadashi, I do Abhishekam and change the clothes and all, put all, perfumes or whatever it is, the way I love to decorate him, I do that. So is it right?
Yeah.
Is it right? Every day you should do Abhishekam.
See, there may be some people doing that, but for us it will be we don't know how our times are, whether it is available. When is the time available for me? Morning time we give it for chanting. So when you start doing these things, you have to fix your discipline. So
that
discipline,
I do. Yeah,
punctuality, and cleanliness. These things. So
I take
what we have to do is, make offerings, Bhoga offerings that you and whatever is prepared at home, we offer to him so that we take only prasad.
So early morning I take bath, then only I enter the altar, Prabhuji. I don't go before that. Then only I light the lamp and then do the puja, arti and all. So I don't. So, but at times I'm missing it as I'm traveling. So that really sometimes you
that
feel.
is understood. That is understood. You can always pray because the Lord is a person. We don't want to take liberties with him, but practical things we can always tell him that please forgive me that I'm doing this like that. Okay. That can be done. So actually, that is why devotees are advised, at least sadhakas like us, don't get your thing complicated by inviting deities. See, if we bring Radha Krishna and things, then you are only, why did you take them then first place? If you don't know that you can serve them nicely, then why do you?
All the deities of
Somebody
mine.
neighbor is having, some friend is having, I also want to have. We should not do in that mode.
Prabhuji, I don't have that, but I've got many Krishnas gifted to me. Always Krishna or Ganesha, he comes to me like that, gifted to me. But this was gifted to me. I put it in the altar because it came on a Ekadasi day. So
Okay.
I mean, a lot of, I mean, that friend of mine is no more now. But she came all the way. She was unwell also. She was suffering from cancer. She came all the way to give me that, along with the dress and everything. And so that was during the Corona period. So
Okay. Means Krishna wanted to come to you.
yeah, she had kept one which she had brought from Vrindavan, and she said that you are the apt person. And Krishna told me to give it to
How
you.
can you say when Krishna wants to come, how he can say, no, don't come? I don't know.
And the lady, she did not come to my house also right on the parking place. She called me up and she asked me to come and take it. And that
Okay.
was a Ekadashi day. So how do I leave him like that, Prabhuji?
No,
That's the
that's
question.
okay. That's okay. What I am saying is a very general advice. What I am saying is, if devotees feel already hard pressed to do their rounds properly, do they little bit of worship for the pictures what they are having in their altar, even that they find it difficult, then why bring deities at all to home? That's what.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
stay clear from that and say that, okay, let me do my bhakti through the holy name. And I will have a simple altar only with pictures, and pictures especially of Gaurnita, and if you want Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, only the pictures and Guru Parampara. That's it. You have a perfect altar to give your devotion to the Lord. The Lord will accept it. But most importantly, whatever punctuality, whatever program we have for the deity worship, that we have to stick to it as much as we can. And cleanliness we have to maintain. And whatever cooking, boga offerings, that we should do nicely. That's it. Okay, no?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
So now, having said that a devotee does not incur sin for not performing all the angas, he gives a little more detail. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Let us try to understand this. So he is running with his eyes closed. That means that he is purposely keeping his eyes closed. That means he knows all the angas of bhakti, but he is focusing on his chosen anga of bhakti, and the other angas he does whatever it is possible for him. That is called running with eyes closed, and that will cause no aparad, no offense for him. But then he talks about seva aparadas in some detail. I think more details you will get it in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this book also appears to have its basis on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But some aspects are explained, some aspects are briefly given. Where it is brief, then we have to go for details to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So here he's talking about Seva Aparadas, 32 types of Seva Aparadas, right? But it doesn't mean that by doing Seva Aparada, he will not get any effect. By saying that running with eyes closed means that aparads I can do any number, Seva Aparada, and nothing will happen to me. That is not the correct way to understand. The point is, by taking shelter of the method described by the Lord, that is the Bhagavata Prokta Upaya. The process of bhakti has been given by the Lord himself. So by taking shelter of that process, one will not incur offenses. But at the same time, committing a seva aparada is not included here. Committing a seva aparada is something like deliberately or negligently committing aparas in the seva. That will produce its effect. Like he's giving again the same example, what he's telling. Act like going in front of the Lord wearing shoes. Or riding in a palanquin into the temple. These are forbidden. Inside the temple, only the Lord is given the honor of traveling in a palanquin. I cannot go in even though my followers may want to carry me in a palanquin into the temple. But no, outside the temple, the palanquin will be stopped. I will get out of the palanquin means car for us. No? I cannot take the car right in front of the temple. Sometimes the people park right in front of the temple gate, and then somebody will come and open the door, chauffeur, and they will get out. It's not allowed unless, okay, you have some major debility, you have some handicaps, and all that the Lord understands. But typically, one should feel sorry to do that. We should park the car a little distance away from the temple, and then you should get out. Same way, you should remove your shoes, not coming all the way into the temple with your shoes. So these kind of aparadas are aparadas. Seva Aparadas. It will produce its results. So here he is telling, he who commits offenses to the Lord is a two-legged animal. Not that, that's Padma Puran. Not that, oh, I am a devotee, I am allowed to do aparas, I have taken the process of bhakti, so it's all right, it happens. That mood should not be there. Negligence should not be there. Or consciously doing aparas should not be there. So then he is telling regarding Nama Aparada. Okay. Nama Aparad, sometimes it may be long standing, many lifetimes also. I may be chanting in my past births also, but inattentive chanting, other aparadas, while chanting, you are looking at the cell phone, you are doing WhatsApping, and somebody is calling, somebody is talking, and you are looking with your eyes open, you are looking here and there, meditating on all kinds of things. This could be long standing or it could have happened recently, nama aparads. If you have committed them unconsciously, these aparads, supposing they are going on in your life unconsciously, that means you are not very alert to it, but you are doing it unconsciously. But how to know whether I have done these aparadas, whether I have done or I am doing, whether I've been done it for a long time or it has started recently, how to become aware that there is Nam Aparad in my life? How to know? He is telling by the result. By the result, you will know whether there is Aparad. Recent or long standing. How to know? By the result. What is the result? Lack of advancement. Lack of advancement. Then what to do? Nama Aparad, long standing or recent, and I can see it is there in my life because of lack of advancement. Then what should I do? So Chakravartipad says, the only recourse is to chant the name constantly. By that, steadiness in bhakti will gradually be attained. He's talking about unconscious nama parads, either long standing or recent. It can be removed by steady chanting, incessant, constant chanting. By that means you don't waste your time on any other activity. Constant chanting doesn't mean you drop everything and sit, but just become acutely aware of time wasters, where you are losing your time. You may justify many things, but now you have to start looking at them more closely, second time, third time, fourth time. Slowly, you will find time coming into your control. More and more time is available. Actually, I'm wasting my time. I'm justifying myself. Maybe I should not be doing this. I am polluting my mind by certain activities. That means that pollution is going to affect my process. Right? Half an hour of pollution of my mind. Half an hour I'll watch a TV serial. But the pollution has gone inside. Now my whole chanting process will be polluted by that. Even though I may say, no, in a 24 hours, only half an hour I watch that serial. But problem is, you have opened out, your heart for pollution to enter. So by resorting to constant chanting means save your time, become aware where my time is being lost, bring it back to the process of bhakti. More and more time we give it to bhakti as much as possible. Each person's life is different. We all of us have different situations. So not that one thing can be generalized, for everyone, but some things can be generalized. What is that? I give as much time to bhakti as possible in my life. And I keep on looking for opportunities to increase the time for bhakti and reduce the time for non-bhakti activities, non-devotional activities in my life. That we have to individually see. And we can also consult our seniors. One more thing we can do, we can maintain a daily diary of all my activities. When you look at it at the end of the day, you may see, this I could have done differently, that I could have done differently. So if you have a diary, you look at it once in the morning, once in the night, or at least once in a day, that will help a lot in making these changes. So that steadiness in bhakti will gradually be attained and offenses will become neutralized by this process of increasing your devotional process. If nama aparada is committed in full knowledge, sometimes, we talked about unconscious nama aparada. But supposing we are doing nama aparada in full knowledge, then the following points must be taken into account. How to avoid aparadas in full consciousness. Then he talks about the 10 offenses against chanting. We all recite it in the morning before we start our japa. Those 10 offenses, Chakravartipad discusses that here. So he starts with disrespect for Vaishnavas. to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord. That is aparadha number 1. And third aparadha is to disobey the orders of the spiritual masters, right? So these two things he's covering here. Disrespect for Vaishnavas, it's called sadhu ninda, or criticism of Vaishnavas is the first offense. The word ninda means animosity, some negative feelings towards Vaishnavas, or malice, as well as criticism. Having a negative opinion about devotees, or even speaking it out, criticism. So this is called ninda. If directly you speak out, it's ninda. But even you don't speak out, you harbor negative thoughts about devotees in your mind, about Vaishnavas, then that is also counted as ninda. So if by chance this offense occurs, somehow by chance you have done this offense, but you become aware, I have done this aparadha, the person should be repentant. How to deal? First we spoke about the aparadha, how to deal. The person should be repentant, recognizing his own low nature in having committed the offense. Oh, I did this offense. What a fallen person I am. I know that because of my sinful life, I have taken birth now in this Kali Yuga. I am most fallen soul. Up till now, I have given my time only for sense gratification without knowing the goal of life. Somehow or the other, by the mercy of devotees, I have come into Krishna consciousness. But how did I do this offense? Which is like committing suicide. Like that, we have to regret, right? Recognizing our own low nature. Why did I commit this offense? Not because of any fault in the other person, the devotee, but it is my own fault, my own low nature, that I am like a fly which finds only the sore in the body. You know, when a fly comes and sits on your body, you will see if there is a sore, some pus or blood oozing, some cut is there, that is the place the fly will sit on. The whole body is healthy. It won't choose the rest of the body. It will go directly where the weakness is there. And that is the nature of a fly. So I am finding fault in others means my behavior is like that of a fly. Like that, I should, instead of deliberating on the deficiency in the other person who I am criticizing, I should turn the searchlight on myself. See, I am looking for defects in a person. A person who has got 90% good things, I am just focusing on the 1% bad thing. Like that, we should turn towards that's one. In the same way that a person who has been burned by fire seeks relief in fire. Sometimes I don't understand this, how by someone who has been burned by fire, so maybe there is a medical science like that. Like in homeopathy, if you have a fever, they will give you some medicine that will increase the fever. But actually, then the fever will subside, right? Homeopathy, there is a meaning of the word homeopathy. Anything that produces a particular symptom in a healthy person, in a sick person having the same symptom, that medicine will be applied. That is homeopathy, correct? So in that sense, a person burned by fire, seeking relief in fire, or for that matter, even your allopathic medicine, everything is all poison only. Poison is cured by poison. Like that. So in a similar way, he should nullify the offense. You have committed an offense. So how to nullify? By lamenting. Lamenting. And then you should resolve to come before that Vaishnava, fall at his feet, and satisfy him by offering obeisances, praises. You criticize him, no? Now you praise him. That too, sincerely from the heart. Praise him and give respects. So this is the way to overcome a conscious offense done to a Vaishnava. You have done ninda of a person. So this is the way to resolve that. Then he goes further. If the Vaishnava is not satisfied, you have done all these things. You have fallen at his feet, you have begged him for mercy, you have praised him and offered respects. Still he is not satisfied. What do? The offender should remain ready to comply with his every wish for many days. Every day you should go, oh Prabhu, for getting your forgiveness, please tell me what I can do. I remember one devotee of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who has been associated with him for many, many years in Bombay, in preaching Maharashtra. That devotee once said he was an ordinary devotee. He was staying in Brahmachari ashram, and here was a sannyasi Maharaj. But the temple was very small. Nothing has developed at that time. So they would go out together for preaching activities and all that. And they were very intimate. So this devotee shared, one time This devotee asked a question in the class, Bhagavatam class, and Maharaj gave a strong answer, almost like a harsh answer to that question, right? To help the person to become steady in his practice. But then every night they would sleep together in the same temple hall. You cannot imagine the temple, Chaupati temple was very, very small in the early stages, very, very small, unbelievably small. And they would sleep in the same hall. So Maharaj started telling him, hey, I am sorry, I was harsh to you, please forgive me. Please forgive me. This devotee was very embarrassed. How do I forgive a guru? How do I forgive a sannyasi? I am an ordinary brahmachari. But he went on asking, and he would avoid. Anytime he comes for this devotee will avoid saying, oh, I have this service, I have that service. Oh, the bell is ringing, I must go for arati. Something like that he was avoid. But Radhanath Swami Maharaj never left him. Again, please forgive me, please forgive me. Even though I said it only to improve your bhakti, but I used harsh language, I used strong language. Please forgive me, please. At last, he had to say, because you are insisting that I should speak these words, even though you are my spiritual master, because you are asking, I don't think you have done any offense, but still I forgive you. Just keep. Then Maharaj relaxed. This is the mood of a devotee. Just for us to understand what is the standard. Normal person will not be able to do this. A sannyasi did it to an ordinary devotee, feeling that I have committed an aparadh to a Vaishnava. A neophyte devotee, a sannyasi. A sannyasi goes, begs a neophyte devotee, I am sorry, please forgive me. So here it goes. If the offense is so great that the Vaishnava's anger does not die, even after many days you offer to him that, please forgive me, I will do anything you want. Please tell me, what do you want? I will do that. But still, his anger doesn't go away. Then in great remorse, you should feel very sorry. You should not blame that person. Hey, what is this? What big thing I have done? I ask you forgive me. We should not allow that to happen. In great remorse, thinking himself most unfortunate to fall into unlimited hells because of his unmitigated offense. It is not mitigated because the Vaishnava is not forgiven. He should give up everything else and take shelter of continuous Nama Sankirtana. By the great power of Nama Kirtan, certainly in time, that person will be delivered from his offense. All these things are only to wake us up that we are living in a material society where these things are done all the time, casually, without thinking. We don't know how to say sorry. We don't know how to say thank you. We don't know how to say, please excuse me, please forgive me. So this modern world, so these things have to be told to us very strongly. So the whole business, what it is meant here is we should take devotees seriously. We should take the process of devotion seriously. We should do the utmost best to remain in the process with all sincerity, whether we are chanting, whether we are doing some other seva, whether we are doing association of Vaishnavas, we should be very careful. Not that you avoid them, oh my God, I will rather avoid the offenses by not going in front of a Vaishnava. That itself is an offense. Please, am I discouraging you? Please, I want to know, because even as I read, I sometimes feel discouraged. Are you feeling discouraged by all this, what you are hearing?
No, Prabhuji, but it
No,
is the reality,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. It's like walking on a razor's edge, they say, no, Prabhuji? It's just
Yeah,
like
Prabhuji.
that. Very dangerous and very, very cautious we have to be. Like,
Very good.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. You want to say something?
No, Prabhuji, because you are telling at least we will be cautioned, like how we have to behave and all. We know that, Prabhuji. We can, otherwise we tend to commit mistakes.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's not for discouraging us. Why would Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad discourage a sadhaka? That is the farthest thing. By reading Madurya Kadambini, somebody will go away from devotion. Do you think that it will make him happy? So we should understand the mood of a Vaishnava, Acharya, when he speaks to us. He is speaking in all compassion, in all love. So let us speak in the right spirit. Our whole movement, bhakti movement, is based on personal relationship, personality, supreme personality of Godhead. And same way, all the Vaishnavas, the whole thing is personalities only. So it is only to make us aware, only to make us aware. What a great gift is waiting for us. Permanently becoming free from material existence and developing that ultimate prema for the Lord to enjoy forever in that in the exchange of love with Him and with other devotees. So we have to come closer to the devotees. We have to develop that mood of love, exchange of love. Dadadi, Padirinadi, Gugyamakyadi, Pachidi, Bhunkte, Bojete, Chaiva. All these exchanges we have to do with the devotees. That is the purpose. This is a negative statement that don't do aparat. But the positive statement is go to the devotees, welcome their association, glorify them, feel their good points, appreciate them, speak the good points of devotees to other people. This is the positive way of doing it. Be happy the moment you see a Vaishnava. When you think about a Vaishnava, become happy. These are the positive things that we can always do. That we can do 24 hours. Aparad is done one time, but positive appreciation we can do 24 hours. Even though you are not speaking, you can do in your heart. That practice will purify our consciousness and reduce the likelihood of our doing any kind of offenses. So he's saying here, he should give up by the great power of Nama Kirtan, in time, that person will be delivered from his offense. Even though the offended person has not forgiven you, still the Nama Prabhu will forgive you because of your sincere efforts. We will stop here. We will proceed in our next session, that will be on Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining. So this will take maybe another 2-3 sessions. After that, things will move fast. Okay. The next 2-3 sessions we will spend on understanding the 10 offenses. Then we'll talk about the anartha nivritti, how it happens. Does it all happen in one shot? Does it happen gradually? If it happens gradually, how gradually? All these things we'll see in the coming sessions. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai.